we're going to get into our Big 12 picks for week 8. Man, that's crazy. We're already in week 8 of the Big 12 football season. It gets kicked off Friday night. Oklahoma State at BYU. BYU favored by 9, over under 52.5. Going to Big B first, man. What do you see here Friday night in Provo?
The BYU is the better football team. Oklahoma State has completely fallen apart. However, Mike Gundy after buys, always really good. But I think BYU keeps it rolling. I don't think that Ollie Gordon's going to play. I think his days are over. He got hurt the last game. I don't know how serious it was, but I think Ollie Gordon's days at Oklahoma State are completely over. Oklahoma State's going to make a quarterback change. They're going to go to a guy that's not any good, supposedly. We'll see. But I think BYU rolls.
No
Can
score?
you give a score prediction?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if you did or not.
No, I'm sorry, dude. Yeah. Go ahead and give us a score prediction and let us know if they cover that and hit the over-under, man. My bad.
Oh, no, it's okay. I would say 34-13. Yeah, 34-13. I think BYU just rolls.
Okay, so that covers
Oklahoma State's ready to quit. They're ready to quit.
I agree with that. I mean, that hits the under there. I'm going to go a little higher than that. I think BYU rolls this game 38-17. I mean, I think they're good. I think they're really good. I know you got to see them in person against SMU earlier this season. BYU kills OSU by 21. Yeah, I mean, that's my score prediction here. 38-17 hits it over as well. I think they have a great chance to start 7-0 this week, and I'm excited to get to watch this game and probably go to bed at halftime because I'm tired of staying up late. I'm not going to lie. Kenny, what do you got here, bud?
Well, I'm just looking here, and other than K-State, they're two other home games. They scored over 40, and I think K-State's way better than Oklahoma State. So I'm going to predict that BYU scores at least 40, maybe even 45. I mean, they're going to be blowing the doors off of freaking Oklahoma State because, like you said, they don't have a quarterback. Their star running back nowhere to be seen. I mean, the guy that's in his uniform is cosplaying as him, but he's not the guy that we all knew from last season. So Ollie Gordon is nowhere to be found in the Big 12. So I think, and that's their offense I'm talking about. But I mean, K-State, I mean, we beat the brakes off of them, and I think BYU has a field that is obviously cursed for anybody that walks in it. So I think Oklahoma State is going to walk in. They're probably going to maybe score 14 points, and BYU is probably going to score like 45.
You're not picking against BYU again after last week, are you?
I can't pick against them anymore. They haven't given me a reason to. The only reason why I picked Arizona was because they were good, then they were bad, then they were good, then they were bad. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe, after they lost, they'll go to BYU and put it on them. And no, I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I did when I picked against them against Baylor, and then I was proven wrong. And I just think BYU's good, man. And Big B said it, man. They're good. I mean, all these turnovers for a game defensively is insane, and they've been doing it against everyone. And I mean, Alec Bowman, 8 interceptions already. He's going to give you the football, and BYU is going to take it, and they're going to score a touchdown every.
He might not even play. He might not even play.
Bowman. Oh,
Brian.
Yeah, that's the word. Is that supposedly that they're making a quarterback change? You don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, dude. Their offense has struggled, dude. Their offense has struggled.
But this is a Mike Gundy team, and Mike Gundy he is the one person in the entire universe that can right this wrong. He is the guy that can do that. For some reason, he's able to turn his ship that looks like it's fallen like the Titanic and somehow make it to shore. It's really insane how he's able to do that sometimes.
Dude, your analogies are freaking amazing, dude. Okay, we talked about this earlier. Let's hit it one more time here. K-State at West Virginia, favored by 3, over under 54.5. I have K-State winning 27-17, hitting the under there. Chris Kleiman's finally going to start 6-1. He's never done it at K-State. I see it happening this weekend. And then I think Neil Brown is really going to be in a hot seat after this game. So will you guys hit up your score predictions one more time here?
Yeah, 30-23 K-State. Again, I think West Virginia gets a late touchdown to make the game closer than what it actually is.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna count that touchdown. Basically, I'm gonna go 38-12, and even if they do score like 19, I guess 38-19, but 38-12 is where I'm going. So
Love it. Love it. Moving on here. This is a really, really good game for being 11 o'clock. We got Arizona State at Cincinnati. Arizona State coming off of a huge emotional high home game win against Utah, playing at Cincinnati, who's only a couple of plays away from being undefeated. Let's be honest, guys. They could very easily be 6-0, not blowing, a 21-point lead against Pittsburgh and, almost beating Texas Tech. But Arizona State's really good, man. I think this should have been ranked this week. This is a tough game for me to pick. I am going to go Arizona State here because it feels like they know how to win close games. I got Arizona State winning 31-28, a high scoring game, heading to over and covering 2.5 at Cincinnati. Kenny, what do you got?
I don't know, dude. Like you said, that's an emotional win. They're finally going to go back on the road. They have not proven that they can win on the road. They went to Texas Tech and lost there. Then their following 2 games were at home. Or I guess they did.
You mean to tell me Texas State isn't hard to win at? Are you kidding me?
Well, I'll say this. That was a super emotional win for Arizona State, and hangovers are real in college football. So, and also traveling across the country is real. Apparently, in this conference, it is. So, I'm going to say Cincinnati probably pulls this off, and I agree with you with the sort of a higher score. It's going to be probably Cincinnati 30-33, Arizona 24.
Gotcha.
Wow, they got a little body clock issue happening maybe with, the West Coast team going over to the East Coast at 11 a.m. I mean, that's basically playing football at 9 a.m. Big B, what do you got here? What are you thinking, Cincinnati versus Arizona State?
I mean, I like Arizona State and Cincinnati. I thought Cincinnati was going to stink, to be honest with you, at the beginning of the year. So they're playing a lot better. I thought Arizona State was going to stink. So both of them playing a lot better than what a lot of people thought. Emotional win last week for Arizona State. Cincinnati did too, but Cincinnati's was on the road. They're coming back home. I like Cincinnati 34-31.
I'm going to be really interested in this game because K-State plays both of these teams here coming up, I believe, at home. So definitely going to be interested in watching this game for sure. Scatterboo is a pretty good running back. I'm not going to lie. He's pretty fun to watch. I mean, he's not as much fun to watch as DJ Giddens, but he's pretty fun. So
he has similarities, though. He likes to be physical. He likes to run between the tackles.
He reminds me of
DJ's the same way.
He reminds me of Toby Gerhart, honestly. Okay. Dude, I do not know what to think of this game. KU's only win is against an FCS team, man, and they've been in almost every other game. They just cannot win. Houston made a change at quarterback, won at TCU, and TCU won at KU. I don't know who to pick here. I'm going to go to Big B first here, man. What do you got in this game? KU favored by 6.5, over under 47.5.
Houston made a change. Their offense is better. Their defense has always been pretty good. KU, the last couple of weeks, their defense has fallen apart. Can't stop anybody. But they had a bye week. And KU's talented. I know we don't like KU. We don't like to say good things about KU. Trust me, I don't. But truth is still truth. I think KU wins this one. It's not going to be as high scoring as what people think. 24-10, KU.
Oh, man. The home field advantage is not really a home field anyway, so they don't have that going for them. Both teams are coming off of the bye week. And, Houston having that win, they're after not even scoring a single point in 2 games prior to that game. But for them to have a bye week to kind of sit on that win and, figure out what they did right. You can learn a lot from wins, just like you can learn a lot from losses. Although I respect your pick, at this point, I cannot pick KU to win any football games going forward. Until they win one game in the Big 12, I can't pick them to win anything because they just seem to find a way to lose every game. And right now, I think they're more focused on their basketball program than they are their football program. They don't even have a stadium, Brian.
When has that not been the case? They have been focused on basketball over football. That's always been the case.
You're right about that, but they don't even have a stadium right now. Like, I know they're rebuilding it. It's just a joke. All right, calm down, KU. I agree with the low scoring because Houston's offense hasn't proven that they actually have it there. But I mean, they did score. What did they score? Like 30 something points when they went against
I think it was
TCU.
30 to 19 at TCU. I could be wrong, but I believe
and
that was
TCU. I mean, you hate playing this game, but TCU beat KU. So
transitive property, right? They have to win, right?
Yeah, you hate playing that kind of game, but I just have a lot of faith in Willie Fritz. So I'm just gonna say that he's gonna get his team together. I mean, we kind of already knew that he was like that coach that was gonna rebuild a program and actually make it great. He's done it twice already in two different schools, so you have to know that you have to have faith that he's gonna do it here. So I'm gonna say Houston gets 21. Kansas 14.
I think we're all on the same kind of thing here at the low scoring game. I think the film was out there on Houston's quarterback finally. I mean, at some point, KU is going to win a game against a non-FCS team. If they can't win this game, they're not going to win a game the rest of the season because this is by far their easiest game remaining. I do think KU wins this game 28 to 14. Covering the spread, but hitting the under. I still don't think they're very good. I think they're going to get waxed by K-State the following week, but we'll talk about that another time. So moving on. This is a really, really, really interesting game. K-State's played both of these teams and beat both of them. Colorado 4-2 at Arizona 3-3. I don't know what to make of Arizona. I'll be honest. I do not know what to make of them. I think Colorado's pretty good. I really do. Their defense is suspect, but Arizona's is too. And you don't know what you're going to get out of Noah Fafita. Arizona favored by 3.5. I don't get that. I do not. I think Colorado is going to win this game something like 38-24, something like that. Hitting the over and underdog winning on the road. Kenny, what do you got?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of Arizona either. I mean, they're just all over the place. It's interesting. These teams are pretty similar in their offense. Like they don't really have much of a run game. I guess Arizona's got a little bit more of a run game than Colorado does. And they have a more established line, I guess you could say. But their quarterbacks want to do the same thing. I think defensive wise, it's hard to know because we don't know what the injuries are going on with Colorado. So if Travis Hunter's out in this game, maybe Arizona might actually pull it off.
They said he's going to play. They said he's going to play.
Oh, okay. Then I would say Colorado. I don't know. I mean, that was a brutal loss. They're going on the road. Man, it's hard to win road games in the Big 12, and Arizona's going to be really pissed that they lost. They haven't. I don't think they've even won their a home game in the Big 12. So
they have not.
Oh man, I can see why they probably. It's going to be a close game. Let's go 33-28. Colorado wins.
Okay. What do you got, Big B?
I like Colorado in this one. Arizona, like you mentioned, up and down. I think their coaching is kind of out over his skis. We'll see. But I believe that's the case this year. Colorado's better. I know why Vegas did this because they're not a believer in Colorado right now until they prove it, which I understand. But I think they do it this weekend. Lower scoring, but I think they win 27-24.
Okay. I dig it. This is an interesting game. Battle for Texas basically here. At Texas Tech. Texas Tech favored by 6.5. Over-under is pretty high. I mean, I don't see how you could ever bet the under when Texas Tech is playing. Baylor doesn't have a good defense either. I think Texas Tech wins this game something like 45 41, something like that. Not covering the spread, but definitely hitting the over there. Big B, what do you got, man?
I don't think Baylor's offense is good enough to score that many points, even against Texas Tech's bad defense. Their defense wasn't bad last time out, and that's the thing. The last time they played against Arizona, their defense actually stood up and did some stuff. But Baylor's ready to quit. Their coach he'll last the season because the team keeps fighting, but they're just not very good. But you're right. Texas Tech going to put up some points. Baylor's defense terrible. I think it's going to be like 45-20 Tech.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I was going to say mid 40s for Texas Tech and low 20s for Baylor. So I'm pretty much right there with you. And, the entire state of Texas in the Big 12 took the week off. So it'll be interesting to see what teams show up. And the battle for Texas in this game is going to be really fun. But I got to take the home team here. And Baylor has just, like you said, they fight in their games, but it's just not enough. I don't know if it's a little too late in their games or too late in their games, or they just they're not able to keep it going when they went against Iowa State. I mean, they came out swinging, but then they just couldn't sustain it, and then Iowa State just outgamed them. So I think Texas Tech is more of a chaotic team, and I don't know. I like the Red Raiders here, so yeah, mid 40s for them, low 20s for Baylor.
Not even a score, not even worthy of a score from Kenny G. Okay. UCF at Iowa State. Iowa State's kind of been up and down too. Like they're still pretty good. They didn't look great against Houston. I mean, they didn't look great for a half against Baylor. I didn't feel like they looked great for a half against West Virginia either. Favored by 14, over under 48.5. I do think it's going to be a lower scoring game. UCF doesn't even know who their quarterback is. They don't. I don't even know what to pick on this game. So I'm going to go to Big B first. I'm going to try to go last here. I don't know who to pick in terms of score.
UCF, you're right about the quarterback. They literally started a guy and then they benched him immediately in that football game. They've been turning the ball over like crazy. Iowa State's offense is not super dynamic, but they take advantage of what you give them. I think they get to 30 points against UCF. I think UCF, again, turns the ball over. They're not going to be able to run it against Iowa State. So give me Iowa State 30-10.
Yeah, the strength of UCF is supposed to be their run game, and it was all the rage in the non-con when they were going against New Hampshire. Didn't even know they had a school up there, but apparently, when you start playing real football, they're not able to even outrun. Listen, yards per carry, Colorado beat them in yards per carry when Colorado went against UCF. If that tells you anything about UCF's offensive line and how bad that team is. So, UCF is struggling. They're going against Iowa State in Iowa. That's tough. I mean, that's one of the hardest environments to play in. And the time 6:30 and it's they don't have a chance. UCF might get a touchdown. Iowa State 28, UCF 7.
I'm pretty close to that, dude. I really am. I got Iowa State winning something like 34-7. I think UCF is just a bad team. I mean, we power ranked them, 14th or something like that this past week.
I had them lower than you did.
Team. Yeah, I think you did. I think you're right. Yeah, I got Iowa State winning 34-7. Okay, last game here. I can't scroll anymore here. TCU at Utah.
Cam Rising's gone.
Cam Rising's done for the. He's not gone. He could come back for year number 8 at age 28. He's going for a third presidential term. Oh my God. I think Utah is gonna be pissed off after losing. I think they're gonna put a whooping on TCU, something like 28-7, something like that. What do you got, Big B?
I think TCU, I think their defense is terrible, but I do think they'll be able to put up some points. I think this is a higher scoring game, but I think Utah is just better. They'll keep it down somewhat because they're going to try to keep the ball away from TCU. They're going to run it, and TCU can't stop it. They won't be able to. But give me 34-20 Utah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said there. I mean, Hoover's a good quarterback. I think people, I mean, because of the team doing so bad, they kind of overlook how good he is. I think he's a really talented quarterback. But yeah, their defense is really, really bad. And Utah, with all the hype coming into this season, they were talking about, they were going to run the Big 12, that they had the best defense. It's not really been as advertised in the preseason, but a lot of preseason predictions are basically in the trash at this point. No one knows what to think now, and we're just going to have to let the games be played. So I'm going to say Utah will give you 33, TCU 14.
That's a look around the Big 12 for week 8.